serious business, and let's get to it. The center can no longer hold as things are fast falling apart in the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. Recent events have generated crises leading to reports of a major breakout of support for the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar by some leaders of the party, including governors, sitting governors, and former governors. A tweet by a former Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, created some sort of panic in the party, indicating that the party should respect its constitution on zoning. Mr. Fayose insists that the presidency needed to go to the south this time around after Buhari's would have spent 8 years in office. Some of the leaders who have aligned with River State Governor Wike on the issue of the deputy president or the vice presidential ticket or the running mate to Atiku Abubakar already speaking up. One of them is the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom. He's being unequivocal about his support and his stand. Well, you can see right there Ayodele Fayose's tweet on the issue of zoning of the presidential ticket. Tonight, we speak with the Executive Governor of Benue State, Governor Samuel Ortom, who joins us from Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight. And let's get straight to it. What is happening in your party? It does look like the center is no longer holding, and perhaps Mr. Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of your party, is not getting the needed support. You and some of your friends are not supporting him. Why?
Sheol, thank you very much for bringing me on this program. And I tell you that the misconception that the center in PDP is not holding is not true. Politics is a game of dialogue, game of understanding, game of discussing, and game of coming to agreement where there are conflicts. Generally, politics is a game of conflict management, and that is what we're trying to do here. And I tell you, but above all, it is a game of interest. You can have 1,000 people with diverse interests, but the capacity to come together to agree on the way forward is what is needed. And I think that is what is happening in PDP. It is not beyond us yet, because we can see through dialogue, through negotiation, through understanding, through appeals, come to a round table and agree on the way forward. I tell you the truth, the situation in Nigeria today is so bad that nobody will want a repeat of the APC government to come back to power. Nigerians are looking for alternatives. I'm a grassroots politician. We have worked with the people, and the people are pained with the security situation, the economic problems that we have in Nigeria, and also the social problems. Nobody is free. We are all enslaved today because of the bad policies of the APC-led government. So Nigerians are looking for alternatives. And we in PDP, we have said that we intend to go to the root of it, rescue our country, rebuild it, and make things work for our country. At least where we came from 2015 to date, you can see that there's a clear difference. Compare President Goodluck Jonathan's administration with this of President Muhammadu Buhari. See the difference where we are. I know that Nigerians have been coerced, we have been intimidated, we have been blackmailed by not saying the truth. But you agree with me that APC government came on board because of the blackmail, the intimidation that they brought against PDP in 2015. So I agree with you that, yes, we may not 100% agree with whether the presidential candidate of the PDP or the party itself. But this is something that some of us are calling for dialogue. We're calling for the leadership of
let's
the party
put into context, Governor Ortom, let's quickly put these things into context. Let me ask you, do you stand with Governor Nyesom Wike on the issue of the vice presidential ticket of your party?
Let me tell you, before I go straight to the point, to tell you that from the beginning, I believe that the presidency should go to the South. I was the chairman of zoning committee, but overwhelmingly, the people say, look, let us allow a free and fair process, which we did. But I tell you the truth, I supported Wike to become the vice president. In fact, we had to convince him. Some of us, we had to convince him. He didn't want it. But we said, look, for the larger interests of the party and the Nigerian public who are calling on you to accept the responsibility. And that was why when the party set up a committee, which it was initiated by the candidate himself, and said that, look, we should help him to advise him on who will be the vice president of the party. 17 of us, we met, and 14 members of that committee, from stakeholders of the party, from National Working Committee, from Governors Forum, from former Governors Forum, from former Ministers Forum, all of us came together. 14 out of 17 said that for the party to move forward, it should be Wike. But unfortunately, for some of us, the vice presidency was zoned to someone else, based on the decision of the candidate himself. We appreciate the fact that the candidate, whether governor, chairman, or presidential candidate, all of them, it is a prerogative to decide who becomes their own deputy. But when you call us to advise us and we advise you and it's not followed, it becomes a problem. Me, I stood with Wike because I knew the contribution Wike had for the party in Nigeria and what he did for me, for providing a platform for me to come back, convincing me from the APC to come back to PDP. So you can understand my sentiment. Me, I appreciate everything that somebody does for me. And so I stood for him, but unfortunately, he was not nominated. But we can put all those ones behind us. But moving forward, there are steps that we need to take to correct the wrongs, if they matter, to ensure that the party is together and we work towards a common goal and achieve the success.
So while we wonder, I mean, you mentioned one thing earlier, that is the prerogative of the candidate to decide who his running mate will be. So the question will be, was it needed in the first place for the 17 people to come together to help decide for the party, but knowing full well that the candidate has the prerogative, the last say on who becomes his running mate? Now, has there not been any kind of overture since that decision to decide on Governor Okowa to be the vice presidential candidate of the PDP? Are there any overtures to Governor Wike to rally around and beg him, just like some leaders of the party are saying?
Well, Shehu, that is a problem some of us have, and we're complaining. I think that it was a prerogative of the presidential candidate to decide. If he decided, just like he did in 2019, by choosing former Governor Obi without consultation, well, it was accepted. He could have done the same thing if he had a preferred candidate like Okowa. Okowa is a good man. He's competent. He has been a senator. He has been governor 2 times. And he is my friend. We relate together very well. He has the capacity. He is the chairman of South Governors Forum. So in terms of qualification, Okowa is qualified. So if the candidate have chosen Okowa, that wouldn't have been a problem. It would have been accepted. But bringing all of us together, taking me from my state, taking several other governors from their state, and bringing all of us to a committee, very responsible stakeholders, BOT, former Governors Forum, and National Working Committee, bringing us together and asking us to recommend someone. But I think that if we are really practicing democracy, 14 people out of 17 is enough to take a decision for anyone, whether you're a candidate or not, or whether it is a party or not. 17 people out of, 14 people out of 17 people is enough to say that overwhelmingly this is what people have decided. Some of us, we are saying this because we are concerned. We want the party to win. We know the pains that Nigerians are going through. And we want the right thing to be done at all times. But I want to say that my concern is that the overtures have not gone out enough to see how we can sort these things out. Like I said earlier, all that was needed, even before the pronouncement, after we did our recommendation, Wike would have been reached up to. He's a human being. This is a man who has built the party. Today in PDP, he has fought all night, all day. He fought to ensure that this party remains together. So he would have been reached out to say that this is the decision we're taking, and this is the reason for taking this decision. And I think he would have understood, and the interest of the party he would have accepted, because the party is supreme. Nobody, all of us, whether we're governors or candidates or whatever we are, the decision of the party must be supreme in all party members must accept the decision, because at the end, it is party that is projecting.
All right. Now, I'd like to also follow up on that. Is it true, Governor Ortom, that 3 names were presented to Mr. Atiku? Is it true?
Oh, well, of course, 3 names. But in the order of preference, it was presented. Wike, Okowa number 2, and Governor Ortom. All of them are qualified. But preference was that Wike, 14 members out of 17. This is the point we're making.
But you heard some of the reasons why he may have he dropped Governor Wike. Do you realize some of his sentiments, or do you align with his sentiment, or do you see reason about his sentiment and perhaps the reasons that have been given for picking Governor Okowa ahead of Governor Wike or Governor Ortom?
Well, that is in the wisdom of the candidate himself. So I cannot vouch for him, but I'll tell you the truth that 3 of them were qualified. And Governor Wike was eminently qualified. 14 people out of 7. All these things were discussed during our meeting. And we said that for the PDP to win, we needed Governor Wike. Yes, Wike would have had his own weak points, as others may see it. But to some people, those were his strong points in this life. And so, for me, the candidate who won the primaries has the final say. He has decided that is okay. I have no problem with that. But I think that moving forward, Wike would have been reached up to. Even some of us who were supporting Wike would have been told, would have been convinced that, well, for this reason, we are deciding on this. I know that even if Wike was nominated, others will still complain. But in politics, majority will always carry the day. The minority will always have their say. The majority of the people will always have their way. That is what politics is. So for me, post-nomination of vice president or running mate, the activities that followed is what I'm complaining. Wike would have been reached out to. I would have been reached out to, and many other people who felt that it should be Wike.
All right, so
would have been reached out to.
So does that affect your support for Atiku Abubakar in any way?
No, you see, let me say that for now, the party's decision is supreme. Once the party takes decision, what else do we have to do? We accept it. But I want to say that really I'm confused about what is happening in Nigeria today, in politics generally. And for me, I'm into hibernation.
What do you mean by hibernation, Governor?
God will help me. Well, I'm waiting now. I say I'm praying, and I want a direction all along. If you ask anybody in Benue State, they will tell you that Sam Ortom became governor in 2015 because of God's divine intervention. In 2019, it was the same thing. And even now, we will pray. Whatever God directs us to do, that is what we will do.
Including your support for Atiku Abubakar? Either for or against?
Atiku is the presidential candidate of the PDP. I'm a member of PDP. What else will I do? But we have not met since the nomination as a team. But I believe that at the appropriate time, we will meet. And if there is anything to do or to say, that will be said. I believe in working together with others as a team. And I think that I have pointed out to the wrongs that were done to the person I was supporting, Governor Wike.
But have you been able to speak with Governor Wike?
The candidate.
Well, do you know, can you tell us what is on his mind when you spoke with him after that incident?
Wike is on holiday. Please allow him to have his holiday. When he comes back, we can discuss that. But the truth is that I have pointed out my pains and what I feel it is wrong and what should be done to correct it. I believe that the presidential candidate will reach out to him, the party leadership will reach out to him, and will reach out to all of us that seems not to be happy about what is going on. And once that is done, I believe that we can have a way forward.
But there are those who will say that maybe Atiku was not properly guided in the recommendations of the three people. Maybe he wasn't properly directed on the position of the 17 people who voted. 14 voted for Wike, and you know, maybe he didn't know that that was a position. Maybe that's the preference. Was there a caveat? Was there any guide as to how he should go by his decision?
She'll have told you that in our recommendation, we did say that in order of preference, 3 people were recommended as we were directed. If we were to nominate one person, it was Wike. But since they said 3 people, the 3 were recommended to him. And so it is not a matter of the committee did not guide the candidate properly. Preference was done in that order. Wike number 1, Okowa number 2, and Udom number 3. That has been done. I am saying that is not even a problem. But the post-selection activities is what I'm talking about. I feel that Wike would have been reached out to. Yes, 14 people recommended you out of 17. But if he was not to be nominated, he would have been called by the leadership of the party, by the candidate himself, to explain to him that for this reason, this is why I'm not nominating you. Though you were recommended by these people, but for this reason, this is why I am picking somebody else. I think that would have solved the problem. That is what I'm saying.
All right, Governor Ortom, look at this.
He's a member of a party.
It does look like whatever the grievances, Mr. Atiku Abubakar is also listening and is perhaps following what is happening. Take a look at his tweets today. It says in one of the tweets, the official PDP will remain united. Focus on our actions. We are taking actions to address the feelings of our party members. The unity in our community is my priority. Our resolve to unify Nigeria starts in our party and moves to the community, then on to society. Then he went further to say, every governor, legislator, and other elected officials produced by our party and party members and loyalists are much loved and respected by me. Does that kind of statement suffice, or you need him to do more?
I need him to do more.
What would you require of him?
I'm making a statement. Reach out to those people who feel they are aggrieved. Reach out to Governor Wike. Reach out to Samuel Ortom. Reach out to the other people who are not satisfied with the process.
How many people are not happy?
Reach out to everybody.
Are you the only two
disagree?
that are not happy? Is it only you and Governor Wike that are not happy? Who are the others?
That is left for the candidate to find out.
Would reaching out be to visit you, or is it a phone call will suffice? What kind of reaching out do you suppose? Or there's supposed to be some negotiation?
Whether phone call, whether visits, whether delegation, or anything that can placate someone who is aggrieved, who is not happy with a process, will suffice. That is the point I'm making.
But Governor Ortom, in all of this, do you suppose that all of this will affect the chances of your party, whatever is happening now, the show of your grievance and perhaps the manner in which things are going? Things are definitely going south for your party, and the chances of your candidate might be dimming by the day in terms of perception, and the fallout of all of this will be that the structure of your party is fumbling, and there is a lot of trouble at the base of it. I mean, are you thinking about the bigger picture? That this is not about individuals and their feelings and their emotion. This is about Nigeria, and this is about your party as an association.
I want to tell you that Sheun, the party is still very, very intact, depending on what the leadership does. For now, I can assure you, because we are looking at the bigger picture. The situation in our country today requires that whatever is our personal interest, we must bury it. We must leave it behind and fight to secure the country. From where I come from, in Benue State, our people say that you first of all chase away the fox before you come back to take the remaining chicken. And that is what it is today in our country. We have a bigger problem. This one is an internal problem. And I tell you that PDP internal challenges are a family affair. This will be resolved. I believe that for some of us who are vocal and are speaking our mind, who are speaking the truth, the candidate and the leadership of the party should be able to address these grievances that we're talking about. They are genuine. And if they do that, if they placate, why can't we work together? How can you compare the APC government and have taken us from top to bottom? And we are nowhere. We are not even at the bottom. We are going beneath the bottom. We are going beneath the earth. We are dying. Nothing is functioning in Nigeria today. And all that we need is for a new regime to take over and take us from bottom to top. That is what we're saying. So taking Nigeria from bottom to top is a larger picture. And some of us are prepared to team up with all progressive minds and people who are willing to help rescue and rebuild this country, because we cannot continue in this manner. The way we are going, if we continue and we continue to keep quiet, we are also, all of us are also going to be consumed one day. So the concern of some of us is to ensure that we get things moving right. You talk about 2023 election. How can we continue in this manner and say that we're going to have a credible election? Look at what is happening. The APC that would have been given us leadership, look at what they did in their primaries. They have not followed due process. They don't believe in the rule of law. They believe in lawlessness. That is why today bandits have taken over everywhere. We are just waiting for the day that we hear that bandits have taken over the presidential villa, just like they did in Afghanistan. We're just waiting the day that bandits will come and take over government house.
That's extreme. Those thoughts are extreme. Those thoughts are extreme. God forbid that kind of situation happen. But please stay with me, because
well, God forbid. I agree with you, but I should tell you the truth.
Yeah, I agree. The truth needs to be spoken. But I'm just saying that the extreme thoughts are not for television like this. You know. But stay with me, Governor Ortom.
Well, that is my problem with Channels Television. You will always not want somebody to say the truth. And what are you doing to get it right? But if you don't want me to appear on your program, you tell me. There is no need. I will always tell you the truth. Things are going bad. Nigeria is going down the drain. Nigeria is collapsing under your watch. As a television network that should be telling the truth, you don't want us to say it, then you don't invite me to your programs. That is the truth.
The reason why,
I cannot go to the villa. I cannot go to see the president. They have stopped me. And here, that you should help me communicate with the president. You're stopping me. What do you want me to do?
I'm not stopping you, Governor.
What do you want me to do?
I'm just saying that, you know, there are lines that need to be told. There are rules guiding this profession. There are rules guiding. We have regulators. We have rules guiding this profession. And I'm just making you aware. And nobody is holding you back from saying.
Have I said anything that is lie? Have I said anything against government that is not true? I'm saying the truth. Every day, even today, my people have been killed. You want me to do what? What do you want me to? Everywhere, killings everywhere. And you don't want us to talk.
No, speak.
So if
absolutely,
you don't want us to talk,
you're probably getting it. You're getting it wrong. I'm just getting you aware. When you say that bandits may take over the presidential villa, I'm saying that's an extreme thought, which may not be the right way to
Has it not happened in Afghanistan?
It's happening in Afghanistan, but God forbid it happens here.
Are you not?
And I'm not stopping you from speaking your mind, Governor.
Are you not aware that bandits have kidnapped people in Abuja? The Federal Capital Territory, bandits have kidnapped people there. Today, as I talk to you, 8 people have been killed by bandits in my own state. The other people, it was 17. The other day, it was 20. The other day, it was 25. How do you want me to feel? And you want me to come here and be praising you and praising the government of the
absolutely. Nobody is saying that.
What?
Governor Ortom, don't get it wrong, please. Nobody is stopping you.
Just a killer.
Nobody is stopping you from
and
expressing
they want everybody.
Emotion.
They have caged Channels Television. I used to respect you, but the way you're behaving, I'm not happy.
No. That's unfair to make that kind of statement. That's unfair. But stay with me. We'll be back and talk more about these issues. We take a break, everyone, and when we return, we'll see with Governor Samuel Ortom on some of the internal issues in the PDP, and we'll later be joined by the former spokesperson of the House of Representatives and the chieftain of the APC on the crisis rocking the party after his promise. Stay with me, everyone. We'll be right back.
From the north to the south, east and west, Network Africa brings you news stories from all around the continent. With wide range in coverage, insights and analysis of special issues, we dissect Africa in its beauty and peculiarities. Network Africa tells the African story from the African perspective. Network Africa, weekdays at 4 p.m. Our website, channelstv.com, has more information on our top stories and others. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. You can also watch us via your smart TV platforms on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Channels Television, ubiquitous.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State is still with us. We're discussing the internal issues within the APC. Governor Ortom, I know you got a bit emotional there, but I mean, absolutely, you know that I will never stop you. This platform is where we speak the truth. We speak truth to power, and we never gag anybody for saying the truth. But know that as much as we operate here in Nigeria, we're guided by rules and laws of the land. And that's what I'm just reminding you. Apologies if you feel offended, but let's continue with the conversation. I'd like to show you something, Governor Ortom, and which was what former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, tweeted earlier today. I mean, it was actually yesterday. But if you look at what he said, and it's about the stand of some of the members of the party. He said the PDP constitution provides for a rotational presidency. Section 3 sub C provides that the party shall pursue its aims and objectives by adhering to the policy of the rotation and zoning of party and public elective offices in pursuance of the principle of equity, justice, and fairness. It went further to say, the current president of Nigeria is a two-term northern presidency, thus implying that it must be a southern presidency in 2023 or nothing. Our south, Lokan, meaning south is next, that I think is a Yoruba language. Nigerians should await details soon. Do you align with the thought of former Governor Ayodele Fayose?
Well, I cannot speak for Governor Fayose. He has his independence to say whatever he wants. But the truth is that he also participated in the process of nominating a candidate. And Nigerians are aware, and you're also aware, that from the beginning, for me, Samuel Ortom, as a member of PDP, I declared my support for the South to produce a president. And I stood my ground. And even in the primaries, I supported a Southern president. Unfortunately, we were in the minority. And as I said before, in politics, the minority will always have their say, but the majority will have their way. That was what played out in our convention. And as a loyal party man, I have no choice than to walk in line with what the decision of the party, the majority of the people wanted. And so that is where we are. And so I cannot be speaking for him. I don't want to condemn him. Democracy is all about freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of speech. So I cannot go into that. But for me, everybody knows in Nigeria that Samuel Ortom stood for Southern president. I believe that for 8 years of President Muhammad Buhari's rule in the north, the next presidency would have gone to the south. Unfortunately, my party did not align with me by ensuring that the majority of the people vote for the candidate of the south that we prepared or we preferred. So that is the point. So Fayose is free to express himself, a former governor and a stakeholder in politics, not just in PDP, in politics. So he has a right, he has the freedom to say what, but the reality on ground is that today, we in PDP, we have a northern president, a presidential candidate, the person of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar.
So, Governor Ortom, let me take, so, I mean, there is a balancing in all of this because politics and the issue of zoning is prevalent. The issue of zoning is prevalent in Nigeria's politics. So now that this conversation is coming up, the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Yocha Ayu, has been quoted to say, if there is a northern candidate of the party, him also from the north central region of the country, he will resign. Do you think that statement should be followed through? Or how do you think the party can balance things? So you now have a national chairman from the north and a presidential candidate from the north.
Well, I think that is left for the leadership of the party to decide. I want to leave it for the leadership of the party to decide because we want to win the election. And if there is anything that will make us win election, we are going to do it. And so I'll leave that to the party to decide because we have a leadership. And truly, that was what the national chairman said when he was nominated to take over the mantle of leadership in the party. But I think at the appropriate time, these things will be sorted out. There will be no issue whatsoever.
All right. Governor Ortom, on a final note, let me put this to you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if it does look like one, you know, you're my very good friend, you will take it the way it is. Now, some of your friends are saying they might be supporting a candidate outside of your party. If they do so, would you join them?
Well, look, don't coerce me to say something that...
But I've given you a signal to expect this.
I have told you that I am into hibernation. So I cannot...
Come out of the hibernation and tell us.
I'm praying.
Because you support some of your friends, and now it does look like what we are hearing, because, you know, I have my ears to the ground. Whatever is happening in the opposition and in the ruling party, I have my ears to it. So there are talks that there might be a support for other persons other than your presidential candidate in the PDP. Would you toe that line?
Let me tell you, okay, let me go spiritual now with you. The Bible says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. I want to be led by God.
So if, should God be telling you support any other person other than Atiku Abubakar, would you do so? Is that what you're saying?
After my prayers, God will direct me, and that is what I will do. I'm a divine political personality. I came in 2015 by divine means. In 2019, you were all witnesses. It was divine means. So, today, where I say that I'm confused, I don't know what is really happening, I have to go back to the drawing board and ask God, what should I do? And I had this inspiration as a student of the Bible, from what David was doing. David asked God at all times, should I go to this war? Will I win? God will tell him. So by the time I come out of hibernation...
Governor Ortom, when you are out of the hibernation, Samuel in the Bible, not your own Samuel, Samuel in the Bible consistently was hearing from God. I hope this time around you will hear from God and you'll be able to tell us when you do so. Thank you so much, Governor Samuel Ortom.
I will hear. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Channels Television.
Thank you. I know you were emotional, but you know, we are a front line. We are number one in the nation. We do the right thing. We speak the truth. We allow people to speak their own truth too. As long as it's in line with the rules.
I'm sorry for being emotional, but I was just expressing myself. You have denied me the right to express myself to Nigerians and the entire world for a long time. That is why I was emotional against you.
But thank you so much for coming tonight anyway. It's appreciated.